welcome back. If you didn't know, I am back home in the Bay Area, so this might look a little bit different. It looks really different. Today I'm going to do the assumptions video that's been going around. I usually don't do trendy videos like this, but I thought this would be fun or interesting for some reason. I actually thought it was a great way for you guys to get to know me. So if you aren't familiar with the concept of the assumptions video, I pretty much went on my Instagram stories and asked my followers to submit assumptions that they have about me, and I am going to respond to them. Let's get started. The first one, you seem very calm and peaceful. For the most part, I think I am, but I do have moments where I am not that at all, and I'm very frantic, or I exude, you know, very stressed, dark energy, but I try to be very calm and peaceful and just, you know, handle things as they come. But everyone has their moments, and I for sure have my moments. You can't leave the house without makeup, so you are self-conscious and self-conceited. I don't know if self-conceited is a word. That's not true. If you watch my vlogs, you'll know I leave the house all the time without makeup on. I have no issue with that. I mean, I am self-conscious sometimes, but leaving the house without makeup is not one of them. It used to be. I used to never be able to leave the house without makeup on, which was a pain. And crazy enough, doing YouTube and Instagram has actually made me more comfortable going outside of the house without makeup, because I know I can do it. I don't need to put it on to prove anything, I guess. I don't know if that made sense, but yeah, YouTube and Instagram has definitely made me feel a lot more comfortable in my own skin, and I'm so thankful for that. You are an atheist. I'm not an atheist. I'm actually very spiritual, or I consider myself to be. I believe in God. I grew up going to church. I grew up as a Christian, and I still consider myself a Christian, but more in a spiritual sense than a religious sense, if that makes sense. Oh, that's a lot of senses. I think my spiritual beliefs are very complicated because I don't fully agree with the popular Christian teachings that are out there, that's spread out in society. I just don't agree with some of it, and I for sure don't live really well by it. It's a really long thing, and maybe I'll get into it in the future when I'm ready to talk about it eloquently and intelligently. And yeah, I'm not at that point yet, but I do consider myself very spiritual. I'm not an atheist for sure. That you're an ABG. So I actually got a couple of these. I don't think I'm an ABG. I don't consider myself an ABG. From what I know, I'm definitely not an ABG, but I am from San Jose. I'm pretty sure I have like a little bit of that San Jose sass. You don't tend to care what other people think of you. I think this is half true. There aren't many things that I really care about that people think of me, but the things that I do care about, I feel very intensely. So like for 80% of the topics out there, I pretty like, you know, indifferent, like whatever people think of me is fine, but the remaining 20% I just care so much about and feel so intensely. So sometimes I can see myself caring a lot about things, but other times not so much. I guess it just really depends on the topic or like whatever it is. You look super artsy, but you're awfully bad at visual arts. I love you though. I don't think I'm that bad at visual arts as this person assumes. I actually surprised myself because Amy asked me to draw some flowers recently, and they actually turned out pretty good. I'm gonna insert photos here. I'm really good at looking at sketches online and then recreating them freehand. I used to draw a lot when I was little, but I just kind of lost it, I guess. And I do feel like kind of insecure about that because I just have never had technical training or like education in that. So I just, yeah, I feel like a fraud sometimes because I'm just copying what I see online. But yeah, I don't think I'm that bad at visual arts. Making thumbnails count, right? I will say one thing that I'm not really aware is color. Like in terms of color grading, I'm really bad at color grading, and I really want to get better at that, because sometimes I look at a photo and I think it's fine, and then I'll show someone and they'll be like, it's way too red, it's too dark, it's too bright, it's too exposed, and I'm just like, fuck. I had no idea. So I do want to get better at that, like the photo editing, color grading part, which is actually really important for what I do. You use music as a way to express / understand yourself. None of these are really like dragging me, so I'm sorry guys if this is turning out to be a humble brag, but I do use music as a way to express myself, and I've always loved music. It's always made me happy, made me feel better, and just a way to connect to people or to the world emotionally. And yeah, I love music. I never thought of it that way as a way to understand myself, but that totally makes sense, and that's really freaking beautiful. So yeah, amazing. You were spoiled growing up. I don't think I was spoiled growing up, but I can see how I come off that way. I think my parents didn't even have the means to spoil me if they wanted to. I actually shoplifted quite a bit throughout middle school and high school because we just couldn't really afford that much, and I just felt bad asking for things, so I just found another way to get it. It's really bad. I'm not encouraging it. I was young and dumb, and it was not okay. So I'm not encouraging that at all. I think I was really sheltered growing up, and maybe that's where the spoiled aura or like energy comes through. But yeah, I was just really sheltered. I was the first born, and I'm a girl, so I was really protected and shielded from the world by my parents. Like, I wasn't allowed to stay out past 8 or have sleepovers. I just followed all of the rules, did everything they said. Of course I like fought back, and if you know there was something I really wanted, I would fight really hard and beg for it, but for the most part I did what they said. You cry easily and you're super emotional. Yes, that's so true. I do cry very easily, and a lot of things get me very emotional, and I think I'm just a very sensitive person. When I was younger, I really had an issue with that and dealt with it because I just felt like I shouldn't be weak and I shouldn't cry. Now that I'm older, I just feel no shame in that. Like, it's okay to be sensitive and feel your emotions and cry. Like, I think that's better than holding it all in. So I do that a lot. You wish it were easier to put on makeup on your eyelids. This is true. I think everyone kind of wishes that. Like, I wish it just took 5 minutes or 2 minutes. That'd be really nice. Super outgoing and conversation starter. Yeah, I think I'm pretty outgoing. Like, I love to go out and meet people and talk to people and get to know them and ask questions. But there are definitely times where I feel a bit drained from the day and I just don't have that energy. But for the most part, I love that. And it's just really fun connecting with people and talking to people. I love it. That you take the social media stuff way too seriously. Well, it is my job, so yeah. I try not to let the social pressures consume me though, if that makes sense. You're really bad at taking criticism. I don't think so. I think if it's from like a positive, constructive place, I, might be hurt by it at first, but I will listen and hear what the person has to say. But if it's just mean and out of spite, then of course, I don't think I would take that very well, because it's not coming from a good, kind place. You are introverted. I am, at the end of the day, very introverted. I regain energy by being by myself and being alone and thinking and doing things that I like and not being around other people. So at the core, I am introverted. If you believe in the Myers-Briggs personality test, I'm an INFP. You're a kind-hearted person. That's really nice. That's a really nice assumption. I appreciate that, and I hope that I am. I try to be. People tend to underestimate your intelligence. Yeah, I think so. I think that tends to happen, taking all things into consideration, but I don't really have an issue with that, with people underestimating me, because, I can always prove them wrong if I'm meant to prove them wrong. I'm actually really proud of having worked in a corporate marketing office job, because doing numbers and analysis and trends, that's not easy, and I think that's where I draw my confidence from in terms of intelligence. I was able to prove to myself that I could learn something like that, which is a lot. So I don't really tend to care if people underestimate me. If the opportunity comes where I can show them my intelligence or that they underestimated me, then the opportunity comes, and if it doesn't, then whatever, doesn't really matter. You a freak deep down, LMAO. You are very traditional. Yes, I think in some ways. I think I am traditional when it comes to love and relationships. Like, I do want that romantic, swept off my feet kind of thing, but I don't think what I'm doing right now is very traditional, so it just depends on what you're referring to. You would be a great president. Wow. I mean, I think a lot of people would be a better president right now than Trump. So yeah, I will take that. You are a very organized person. Yes, in some ways. I'm a very organized person. It's like, I like to call it organized chaos because everything's still a mess, but they have their place. You and Amy are such a besties. Yeah, we are. You sometimes feel rude. Yeah, sometimes I do feel like I've crossed a line. It's easy for you to make friends. Maybe. I think so. I'd like to think so. You are a really humble and chill person to hang with, and you're lactose intolerant. I don't know why. That's a really funny assumption. I would love to think I have those qualities. I think I'm pretty chill, but I do have moments where I'm like on edge. Depends on the day, I guess. For the most part, I think I'm pretty chill and down to do a lot of things. And in terms of lactose intolerant, I'm not really. I drink a lot of milk tea, but they're not always dairy in them. I don't really tend to like dairy things anyway, things with dairy in them. But yeah, I'm not that lactose intolerant compared to some of my friends, because some of my friends have it pretty bad. You are really nice and open to people who you've just met and love to talk to your subscribers. Yeah, I think I'm pretty nice. I mean, I would hope everyone's pretty nice when they meet people, because you have no reason not to be for the most part. And I think I'm pretty open. I do love talking to my subscribers. Sometimes I don't respond because I don't know what to respond or how to respond, but I do love to talk. You're a smoker. No, I don't smoke cigarettes. I've tried it a few times, but I don't smoke it regularly. My grandpa and uncles all smoke pretty much, and I've grown up around it. I don't really like it. My grandpa actually passed away from lung cancer, so it's just not something that I want to do. Assuming, hoping you're single. I am single. You re-record your stories 2 to 3 times before posting. Sometimes that is true. You are short. I am short. I am 5.5 inches, but sometimes I'll just say 5'1". Close enough, right? Hi Sandy, I think you grew up in a typical Chinese family, then you got rebellious and you did what you do. This is true. I grew up in a very typical Chinese family, and this is my rebellion, I guess. Quitting my full-time job and doing this. Yeah. You came from a wealthy family. No, I don't think I came from a wealthy family. If my parents had money, it sure didn't feel that way at all. I think my parents are really good at saving up. And we're very frugal, and the things that we have now are a result of them saving, but I definitely don't feel like I grew up wealthy whatsoever. I've heard that you are a very kind and lovely person, and I think that you are a kind person. I hope so. You were an art major. That's false. I majored in economics and communications. I wish though, that would have been really dope. I made the assumption of you being someone very serious. Sometimes. Yeah, so that was the last one. That wasn't too bad. I feel very like okay. Like it was for the most part pretty nice. It was really nice actually. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video and getting to know me a little bit more. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. Let me know in the comments if there's a specific video you want to see too. I will talk to you guys in my next one. Bye!